You ever have one of those dreams that's so vivid, so real, that it leaves you shaken when you wake up? Well, what if a nightmare like that actually held the key to understanding a really deep spiritual trap that we all face? Today, we're going to dive into this haunting story about a man and a mermaid and uncover the powerful lesson it has for all of our lives. So, picture this. Our story starts in the middle of this huge, empty ocean. There's a young guy named Irva, and he's just done. Stranded on a rock, totally exhausted, hope is completely gone. The sun's going down, and he thinks this is it. This is the end. It's the perfect picture of total despair. But then he hears a voice, and this unbelievably beautiful girl appears out of the water. She tells him she's trapped, just like he is, and she offers him a deal. You help me get onto this rock, and I'll help you get home. I mean, what would you do? He's moved by her story, so he reaches out to help her. And this is where it all goes wrong. The second he grabs her hand, she doesn't come up. She pulls hard. She yanks him right off his rock and plunges him down into the cold, dark ocean. That whole promise of help, it was a lie. It was a trap from the very beginning. Now, as he's sinking, something crazy happens. He takes a breath of water, but he doesn't drown. He can actually breathe underwater. He looks down, probably in total panic, and sees his legs are gone. They've fused together into a fish's tail. In just a split second, everything has changed. He's not a man anymore. He's a merman, trapped in this whole new world. Okay, so that's a pretty chilling nightmare, right? But according to the spiritual teaching the story comes from, it's way more than that. It's actually an allegory. And that mermaid? She represents a hidden danger that all of us face, something that can pull us under before we even know what's happening. See, in this teaching, the mermaid is a symbol for any soul you get attached to. And we're not just talking about liking someone. This is a deep connection that, believe it or not, is said to form a literal channel, like a pipe between two souls. And through that pipe, all the negativity, what the text calls bad karma, can flow from their life right into yours. This quote from the story just says it all. Just like Irva got physically dragged into the sea, this kind of spiritual attachment can drag you into someone else's dark pool of negativity. You basically start taking on their spiritual baggage. So it's not always a mutual, supportive thing. Sometimes it's a one-way drain. So if attachment is the trap, what's the bait on the hook? I mean, how do we get sucked into these connections in the first place? Well, the source material is super specific about this. And it's not just one thing, it's a whole bunch of our own feelings. So here they are, the 9 hooks, and look closely because some of these are probably going to surprise you. It's not just the bad stuff like anger and fear. We've got joy, trust, and surprise on the list. Any of these, when you feel them intensely towards someone else, can open up that channel and create that mermaid connection. And get this, even an emotion we think of as good, like pity, can be a hook. The text gives this really powerful example, feeling overwhelming pity for an animal that's suffering. That super strong emotion creates an attachment, and you can end up getting pulled into its pond of bad karma. It's a pretty radical idea, right? That our compassion, if we're not careful, could actually become a vulnerability. Okay, let's jump back into Irva's dream. After he's turned into a merman, he's not dragged to some dark, scary prison. No, he's taken to this absolutely stunning underwater palace, just shimmering with pearls and gems. It's a place of unbelievable wealth and beauty. And this is the next part of the trap. This new world is so beautiful, so intoxicating, that Irva starts to forget. All his memories of being human, his family, wanting to go home, it all just starts to fade away. The illusion starts to feel more real than reality ever did. This dazzling palace, well, it has a name in this spiritual tradition. It's called Maya. It's the grand illusion. It represents all the shiny distractions in our world. Money, status, pleasure, all the things that can make us forget who we really are and what our true spiritual purpose is. So this whole grand illusion, it's like a veil that gets dropped over our spiritual eyes. And the more we get pulled under by these emotional attachments, by our mermaids, the thicker and thicker that veil gets, until he can be staring right at the truth and not even see it. And here's where we see the real world cost. In the story, this wise character, Baba, gets so consumed by his own anger and fear, his own personal mermaids, that he literally cannot see the divine Lord Hanuman, who is standing right there in front of him. His attachments made him completely blind. But this underwater paradise has a really, really dark secret. All that safety and luxury, it comes at a terrible price. Every 2 weeks, the oldest merpeople are sacrificed. They're fed alive to giant whales. And that is the fate that's waiting for every single person trapped in this illusion, including Irva. So this brings up a huge question, right? If basically every strong emotion is a potential hook and the world is this dazzling illusion that leads to destruction, what are we supposed to do? Are we just doomed to get pulled under? How do you stay safe? Well, the answer the teaching gives is actually really simple, but it's also incredibly profound. It's all about changing your perspective. You have to stop thinking of yourself as the main character in this high-stakes drama and start seeing yourself as an actor, playing a role in a grand play. The point isn't to stop feeling things. It's to feel them with a little bit of detachment. Think about it. An actor on a stage has to feel real sadness or joy to make their role believable, but deep down they always know it's just a play. If we can hold on to that same awareness in our own lives, we can feel all our emotions without letting those hooks of attachment sink into our true selves. And right at the moment in the dream when Irva is about to be sacrificed, he feels this jolt, and he wakes up. He's safe in his own hut, no palace, no whales, no mermaid tail. It was all just a nightmare. And that's the final hopeful part of this whole allegory. No matter how deep you are in the illusion, you can always wake up. So that leaves us with one final thought. This story isn't really about Irva. It's a mirror for us. It's asking us to look at our own lives, our own attachments, and ask yourselves a really important question. In this grand play of your life, are you the actor who knows you're on a stage? Or have you gotten so lost in the role that you've forgotten it's a play altogether?